Hey everyone, it's me, Tanisha O, and welcome to Tea with Tanisha O. Today we have two very special guests, my baby girl Shantia.
Hi.
And my middle baby boy Damien.
How's everyone doing today?
All right, guys. So today we're going to talk to everyone about we are all fragile, handle family and friends and strangers with care. So recently I've noticed, and you guys probably have noticed also, my timeline has almost been flooded with people saying, I'm going to check in on family more. I'm going to be more aware of everything that's going on around me. And I think that that is an awesome thing. My question, though, was when people are talking, how well are we listening? Like, people are coming to us and they're sharing things with us, but are we really listening? You know, my baby sister shared a story with me about how she was out. She ran into this gentleman and he said to her, she said, "How are you?" And he was like, "I'm not good." And she said it threw her off because she was like, oh, she didn't even know what to say back because we're so used to people saying I'm good that she didn't have a prepared response for I'm not good.
Right.
So she was like, oh, okay. And she gave him words of encouragement, you know, to tell him that it's going to be great. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. But my question is, how many times do people say I'm not good? And we're so much just on autopilot that we're like, oh, good. They've told us they're not good. And we're like, good.
Right.
And then we're like, oh, shoot, that was the wrong answer. Because we're really not listening. We're just trying to get on to the next portion. So what do you guys think about, yes, checking in with people, but like, how should we be listening?
We should be listening with the gentle spirit, I believe. Because when you're gentle with someone and you have a gentle spirit, that means you're just like, you just want things to be calm and at peace when you're in a gentle spirit. Like, you just want things to flow and you just want serenity and purity. So when you're gentle with someone in the way you speak and the way you act, that opens and invites them to put their heart into the conversation and be more at ease with you. So I would just say one needs to be gentle.
I like that. Shavee?
Different forms of listening, correct?
Sorry, the facial, it's Shantia. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think listening does come in different forms. Listening is not just calling someone and listening to their problems. I think listening is caring, it's being loving, it's actually paying attention, which is the most important part about listening. Like you said, being on autopilot. A lot of the times we don't listen. We're like in our own zone, and we need to actually, become one with just what's going on in our surroundings. Just actually paying attention to people, looking at their body language, looking at their facial expressions, just being more aware of yourself, of your surroundings, of your family and your friends. Those all play a part when it comes to listening.
Absolutely. And I found that personally, sometimes it's harder to listen to the people you are closest to and that you love the most, because we feel like, oh, I already know their problems. The reason why they're going through their problems is it's all because of them. And I've also heard things that aren't so good. You have siblings that grew up in the same household, and so we have one sibling that may be struggling a little more than another one, and the overall consensus from everyone is, oh, well, look at everybody else. They're fine. You all grew up in the same house. You should all have the same experience. But that's not true, nor is it fair, because every person processes things so differently. Like, this one situation can happen to 50 people, and every person is going to come out of it differently. Some people may have similar experiences, but they're still going to be completely different. So it's not fair for us to just, it's like a one size fits all. Well, right. If you're in one household, one size fits all, you guys all have the same. It's not that way. And also when I think about how we listen, a lot of times we lose sympathy for the people who are closest to us. We feel like, you know what, the reason why you're going through whatever, fill in whatever blank it is, whether it's drug addiction or they're an alcoholic or it's just whatever it is, food addiction, it's because it's their fault. However, we ignore the signs that they're sending us because we've already self-diagnosed. We've diagnosed for them what their problem is, and because we've already put them in a bucket and a category, we just ignore everything else that they're saying. How about maybe those addictions that they have are caused by the pain that they're feeling? Most people are not just ready to just be a drug addict for all of their life just because. Most people aren't just signing up to be addicted to something just because. We do have control over what decisions we make differently. However, some people need that help. And they're counting on us, their closest loved ones, to help them. Now, I'm not saying that we're not all helping, because some of you may be thinking, I helped. I did everything that I can do. The question is, are we doing things the way they need them to do it? Or are we doing things the way we want to do it? Because we're all different. And I know, just even with these two people here, the way I may want something done for me, it's not the same way Shantia needs it done in order for it to be successful for her. And it's not the same way for Damien. We're all different. So I think that we need to lose all the buckets that we just automatically put people in. And when we say we're going to listen and we're going to be there, we should show up the way they need us to show up, not the way we want to. And then if they don't do it the way we want to, we just throw our hands up in the air and say, forget it, I tried. And we're on to the next thing. So I like that. Baby girl mentioned something that she has now implemented in her day-to-day life. You want to share that?
Yes. So what I implemented was I was trying to figure out different ways of how I can help others. And speaking of showing up, I feel like a lot of people battle with trying to show up in a way that's not themselves, which is why the other person may not, seem so inviting or actually want to come talk to them. And it's like we put on a mask or something to be this person for them, when in reality they just want you to be yourself. So with speaking of that, I was asking God like how I can help others, and he just said just be yourself. So what I did was, in my natural state, I'm always smiling, laughing. I'm very goofy. So I started walking around New York smiling at different peoples, and I encountered this man, different people. And I encountered this man, and I just smiled at him. And he literally took 2 glances at me. He said, "Excuse me." And I'm like, "Yes." And we started talking, and I'm asking how was his day, and he was like, "Well, my day has been made now that you blessed me with your smile. Your smile is beautiful." And he basically told me how he really needed that. A lot of people don't smile at him. He was actually a homeless man. And there's a lot of homeless people in New York City, so a lot of people don't pay attention to them. However, with me, I pay attention to every homeless person, everyone on the street. I look at them. Even the same people, I try to think, okay, well, what can I do differently tomorrow in order to help this one person? It's not always about trying to help millions of people. It's about trying to help that one person that is in your space at the time. Focus on them, get that done, and then move on to the next.
I agree. Baby boy, do you have anything you want to add?
No.
No? Okay. This is honest. I love that. So we're all in control of our surroundings and our space. And if we say we love someone, and if we tell someone I'm there for you, then it's important that we show up for that person the way they need us. And I'm not saying that we're required to be there for everyone, but for those people that we have told we will be there for you, what does that look like? So if you are in a place and you're watching this video and you're in a state of depression and you really, really, really need help, we have left the telephone number for the suicide hotline at the top of this video. Please be sure to get help. If you can't trust your loved ones, you can't even worry about what they think if they find out you called. It's anonymous. It's really about you. You're worth it. You were created for a very special reason, and you have a gift that you're going to share with this world. So we all want to see it and be a part of it. So know that you matter. Know that you care. And lastly, I just wanted to mention, people who are being bullied, children are being bullied, parents, it's time for us to take a look in the mirror to see how much of our attitudes and the things that we are doing are teaching them that bullying style and that tactic. Most of us only think of the children. We don't think of what we're doing to teach them. whether it's the waitress, the rude behavior, or we're in line and we're yelling at people, or we're cussing out of the window, or we're throwing things at people, or bad mouthing, that is bullying, especially when they see a homeless person being bullied by the parent. We're showing them that we're bigger than them, so we're going to take on the little guy, so to speak, and enough is enough. It's time to stop it. We're all one human. The human, we're all one. It doesn't matter what you look like, what skin color you have, light brown, dark brown, no brown, whatever the case may be, we're all one. Let's love each other as one, which is why blending our love is such a precious name for us. So let's continue to grow together. Let's continue to blend our love, and subscribe to this channel, like it, and all of that good stuff. Please share this video with others so we can spread the word. And I hope you guys enjoy a wonderful day. Thanks for joining us today on Tea with Tanisha O. Take care. Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.